Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm Revel No Shorty, and we're going to be discussing a comic book today with no dialogue. This will be fun and hopefully quick. Step by Bloody Step by Sam Spurrier and Matthias Begana. Genuinely cool team. I've actually read something by them before, but wasn't as impressed by that as I am by this. They did one before. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. I do apologize. It was a 12-issue epic with Boom Studios, if I remember correctly. Fantasy world with interesting characters, and the only problem with it was the artwork, as huge and bold and over the top it was, the kind of stuff that I usually absolutely adore, was kind of hamstrung a little bit by Sam Spurrier doing far too much world building and absolutely jamming the pages with text sometimes. And it got distracting and overwhelming at the same time. This situation, there is no world building done by dialogue or writing. Everything is done by visuals, and it invites you, pretty much insists, in fact, that you pay attention to the world. You can't not do it. There are times when you just have a 2-page spread where very little is going on, but you have to take your time and admire it. Just take a look at that. That is just a landscape. Now, if you look at the front there, you can see footprints to give you a vague idea of scale and how big those trees are and how far back things would be and how much the world is and how much of the world takes up of the space. It's brilliantly done. Now, I was thinking about whether or not I was going to discuss something in this comic book, because there's something that happens very close to the end, which I think it's an important point to get across how well Spurrier and Bergara are at visual storytelling, because they lead you down paths where you think you figure out what's going on. And when this final reveal happens, it isn't mind-blowing. It doesn't totally shift your appreciation of what's happened, but I still think it's best experienced as you turn the page and as you see things. Because of the way they tell the story, you're going to get that a lot. You're going to get some wonderful moments where just turning every page adds something to it. And without dialogue, that is a very impressive thing. Now, that's not to say the writing isn't good, because even with no words on the page, this has been a comic that is written. I mean, the credits say just credit Spurrier as a story by, but page layouts are still things that are written. How much control he has over it and how much freedom he gives to his artists, I don't know. Without seeing a script, I couldn't possibly comment. But there are such wonderful choices made in terms of where the action takes place and how it takes place. It's a story of a young human who grows up under the protection of a mechanical suit of armor. You spend most of the comic book not even knowing what's powering it or if there's anything in there. And it is there to protect her from an infant, like younger than toddler, through to early teens, adolescence. It protects her not just from the horrors of the world, which in this case there's lots of giant monsters to fight, but also from other human interaction. I'm going to use the word human here. We're on an alien world. They're not humans, but people doesn't quite cover it. They do look and present very much like how we'd understand humans to do so. And the style of the protection and how it's portrayed in the comic book is really important. Quite often when it's a huge monster fight, instead what we focus on is the young girl seeing something beautiful in the world and trying to grab hold of it. Because as her protector engages in bloody mayhem all over this world, she is constantly seeking beauty, trying to find something nice, something better than just the day-to-day grind, something better than these step by bloody step. She's going in some direction. We still don't know where she came from or where she's going or why she's been accompanied by this giant mechanized suit of armor. But her striving for beauty, even in terms where it's dangerous for her or where it causes problems for what they're doing, is a great personality trait, which if you had dialogue, you could have done as box out text or an internal monologue, but without it, you actually just get this amazing world described to you through the artwork and the characterization at the same time. It's very, very impressive. One of the things in the previous work, this which I've forgotten the name of, which bugged me a little bit, is it's almost like a fantasy trope of writing that there will be things in the world which are very similar to our world, but they give them alien-esque or fantasy words for them. But sometimes the words you use to describe them are also replaced by a fantasy world. It's a fantasy word, sorry. It's a bad writing trope. And every once in a while, fantasy writing does it, and it's kind of frustrating. The fact that there is absolutely no need for words in this one, I'll say no need, there's been no desire to put words in it. It means everything is just done as you discover it and as you work it out for yourself. I think Terry Pratchett once said, "Why have a different word for sandwich just because it wasn't on a world where there was an Earl of Sandwich? We still know what a sandwich is by context." When you don't even have that, it all falls down to visual storytelling, and this is an absolute masterclass in how you do it. I can see why Image Comics and the various people involved have been pushing it hard. I think this needs to be in front of people. If you have a local comic book store and they're looking to have a couple of copies left, go and grab one today. We've got one left, and that's it. If you're looking to find one, do not waste your time on it. Please hurry. Please go and read it and tell all your friends about it. And if you miss it, put an order in for the collection straight away. This is something special, and I genuinely enjoyed every single bit of it. That's it for me today and the week. I'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.